son.
Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in a faraway land, there lived a king. This king had 12 daughters. All his daughters were incredibly beautiful. The king did not allow them to leave the palace. They were only allowed to walk around the palace gardens. While the king and his daughters carried on with their lives, one morning as his daughters sat at the table for breakfast, he noticed that their shoes were worn out. Although the king was very confused by this, he ordered his servants to buy new shoes for all his 12 daughters. Ever since that day, every morning at breakfast, the king noticed that his daughters' shoes were worn and dirty. The king couldn't put his finger on what was going on. Despite their doors being locked at night, the mystery of the worn-out shoes continued. To solve this, the king came up with a very clever plan.
Soldiers, spread the news across the country. Whoever solves this problem will marry one of my daughters and become king when I die. These young men only have 3 days to find out why my daughter's shoes are worn out every morning.
However, if they can't figure it out, they will be thrown in the dungeon.
The soldiers spread the news across the entire country. Many young men were turning up at the palace gates to solve this mystery. Yet, all of them were falling asleep outside the daughter's room and were being thrown into the dungeon. There was a kind, handsome young man who lived in a village near the palace. He had always liked the king's youngest daughter. The young man had no family except for his grandmother. So they lived together. One day, his grandmother came up with an idea.
Why don't you try your chance at solving this mystery? You always said that you liked the king's youngest daughter.
Until now, hundreds have gone to the palace to try their chance. None of them have succeeded. It will be impossible for me too. Plus, we're very poor. The king will never give his daughter in marriage to me. You must be mad, Grandma.
Nonsense. You do what I say. You will succeed. I'm giving you a magical cloak that belonged to your father.
Oh.
When you wear this, you will become invisible. And one more thing. Do not eat or drink anything from the palace. Good luck, my son.
Although the young man was incredibly amazed by the invisible cloak, he immediately set off to the palace to try his chance. The guards led him to the princess's rooms, just like the others who tried their chance before him. At night, the oldest daughter popped a sleeping pill into a glass of water, left the room, and handed the glass to the young man waiting by the door.
It's hot. You must be thirsty. Here, if you like, I can bring you another glass.
Thank you. Yes, I was incredibly thirsty.
The thirsty young man drank the water and slept all the way till morning. The next day, while waiting, another girl brought a glass of lemonade. Unable to resist, the young man drank this too. He went straight to the room assigned to him and snored the night away. When he woke in the morning, he said,
How stupid I am. How could I believe these girls? My grandma had warned me about not eating or drinking anything. Tonight is my last night. I must succeed.
He went in front of the door again. This time one of the girls wanted to trick him with juice. The young man pretended to drink the juice while the girl watched, but the minute she turned around and entered her room, he poured it into a plant pot. He pretended to sleep, lying next to the plant and snoring.
Go and take a look. Has the boy outside fallen asleep?
One of the girls peeked through the door and checked the young man.
Can't you hear? He's snoring away. It's okay. We are free now.
At midnight, when the young man wore the cloak, he became invisible. He slowly entered the girls' room. The girls were wearing beautiful dresses. They had brushed their hair and were all made up. There was a large mirror in their room. They all stood in front of it. The oldest daughter touched the mirror and blew a kiss. The mirror immediately slid to the side and a door with stairs appeared, leading down to a chamber. The young man watched in shock as the girls, one by one, went down the stairs. Of course, he followed them right away. As he went down the stairs, he accidentally tripped on something, fell and held on tight to the skirt of one of the princesses in front of him.
Oh, what is that? Someone's pulling on my skirt.
There's no one here. You must be imagining things.
They went down hundreds of stairs.
Whoa.
Finally, they arrived in a forest. The leaves in the forest were gold, the branches were silver, and the top of the trees were filled with diamonds. As the young man watched in awe, he also took one of each item to keep. He wanted evidence upon his return. They walked and walked down a very long path through the forest. At the end of the road, a lake appeared before them. There were exactly 12 boats waiting for the princesses. While each one of them climbed on the boats, young oarsmen were helping them get in. Finally, the young man jumped into the last boat.
Gosh, this boat is a little heavier than usual today. It's like it's carrying 3 people. Have you gained weight, Princess?
What?
A palace decorated with magnificent lights appeared on the opposite shore of the lake. Music could be heard from everywhere. They all entered this palace and began to dance like crazy with their companions. All the glasses in the palace were made of crystal, and all cutlery made of silver. As the young man watched this fantastic event, he wanted to eat a piece of cake and drink some water. He wasn't noticed while he was eating a piece of cake from a golden plate, but was caught while drinking water from the crystal glass.
Oh wow, I can't believe it. Look there, the glass is levitating. It's like someone is drinking water.
Upon hearing these screams, the young man dropped the glass and it shattered into a million pieces.
You're imagining things. We are really tired of dancing. You must have bumped into the glass. Come on, it's almost morning. Let's go back to the palace.
But...
It was time for the girls to return to the palace. The oldest daughter gathered all her sisters. They returned to the palace the same way they came in, with the young man following them at all times. The young man was thrilled to have solved the mystery of the shoes. He immediately appeared before the king.
Your Majesty, I respectfully salute you, Your Highness. I have solved the mystery of why your daughter's shoes are worn out after just one day. Every day, your daughters go to a magical forest, head to a palace, and dance the night away. This is why their shoes are worn out.
The king was shocked at this news and didn't want to believe what he heard.
Today was your last day. How could I know that you're not lying to me in order not to get thrown in the dungeon?
Sir, I have plenty of evidence. A silver tree branch, a gold leaf, a fruit made of diamonds, and a crystal glass.
The king was surprised at what he saw, but was also pleased that the mystery was finally solved. He followed the young man down the path, went to all the places they had been, and saw with his own eyes that the young man was telling the truth.
Yes, you were right. Tell me, which of my daughters do you want to marry?
Your Majesty, if she also accepts, I would like to marry your youngest daughter. And of course, if you see fit.
The young man and the young princess lived happily ever after. The young man also had his grandmother brought to the palace, since he owed her everything. Even though the other girls weren't so pleased with what had happened, they promised that they would never go anywhere again without permission.
Hey guys! Subscribe to our channel Kondo-san and watch the most popular fairy tales, cartoons, and nursery rhymes. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications.